Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel presents.
August 1st, 1914. After the assassination of Prince Franz Ferdinand of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the German Empire declares war on Russia. Because of established alliances, France is preparing for conflict. A few hours after the announcement of the general mobilization, German civilians living in France are asked to leave the country. Karl is one of them. A few days after Karl was deported, the war was hungry for more and took away Emil as well. A heavy-hearted Emil was called up to fight and left the farm for Saint Mihiel. Like so many others, he had no idea what fate had in store for him.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new series here on the channel. This time we will be playing through the Valiant Hearts. Now, I have to admit something. I had a couple of episodes already pre-prepared, but unfortunately, Ubisoft has decided to use lots of licensed music in this game. This means that even while the narrator was explaining the background of Emil, for example, well, a couple of notes were being played on the piano. This is an actual song which is licensed, and therefore the video would be demonetized. And there are a lot of segments in this game where certain licensed music will be playing. Therefore, I had to turn off the audio completely, and I will try to compensate for it by adding in some other stuff. This will certainly ruin certain sequences for the game because they are specifically set to certain songs, but yeah, I kind of don't want to have my channel taken down or something, so we'll see how this turns out, and I'll try to probably put into some background music, just in case. Now, Valiant Hearts is one of those games which I'm really surprised that Ubisoft decided to create. I mean, certain type of publishers, even Activision or Ubisoft, have titles in their catalog which are shockingly really well received and really well executed. That is before some of these publishers decided to spam certain games over and over again. But yeah, whenever we will come across these facts, I will just probably pause the screen, or you can pause the screen so that you can read through it, and we will then continue on. Also, one thing which I will try to achieve in this playthrough is to get my hands on all the collectibles. Yes, all the collectibles, and trust me, there is a lot of collectibles. So let's see if we can get ourselves some uniform and go through the basic training. So obviously the trumpet would create a sound, but once again, lots of things are licensed. Don't want to have the channel taken down, so I do apologize for that. Now the basic training here is super awesome because lots of these things we will actually come across. And here's the fun thing. When we take out this first dummy, you see the Kaiser helmet that he has, basically. This is our first collectible. Just wanna... Or is it the second one? I know that there are actually two dummies. And I'm quite sure that one of these helmets is the first collectible. Usually you know that it's a collectible by having the shiny effect on it. Now trust me, some of these collectibles super freaking difficult to come across. The developers have definitely made it super freaking hard to get them. Okay, so let's continue our basic training. Let's beat this dummy. Grab another grenade. And let's see if we can finish off everything we need to. So once again, you can read about the barracks and the regiment as it is, and this should allow us to pick up everything during the training. Just want to make double sure that I will actually collect everything, because the fun thing is, once you pass a certain point, you are unable to get back to it. So if I were to raise the flag here, this would finish off the basic training. However, you can see over here by the soldiers that there is actually the second collectible that can be achieved here in the barracks. So if I would not pick up the tinder lighter, we would be screwed. So let's go and raise the French flag. And that should get us out of the basic training.
My dear Marie, we are on our way to Paris. The atmosphere here is strangely cheerful. I hope that the harvest goes well. Rely on our neighbors for help. They've always been gracious and charitable people. I'll write again as soon as I get my assignment. Please kiss my little grandson for me.
At the train depot in Paris, trying to reach his regiment at platform 21, Emile would meet the man he would soon fight alongside. The man who would come to be his truest friend.
So here we actually meet Freddy, one of the other characters who will play as during the Valiant Hearts series. Now, obviously, he is currently being bullied by the French soldiers, which is the most inaccurate thing I have ever seen. But, well, half of them have surrendered, so let's try to finish off the train station segment. Once again, you can read about the railways, pause the screen potentially, and we will move on. So in order for us to do a couple of things, we will need this bottle. Thing number one, which we can do, is see that this soldier here has apparently some infinite bottles behind the box. But what you need to do if you are here is hit the small bell on top of the train with the bottle. This will drop one of the other collectibles, which is so nicely hidden. So this is the station master's whistle. You can read about it, pause the screen, and we can continue. I know that I have an angelic voice, but I'm not gonna actually read through all of these. That would just not end up quite well. So I'm gonna try to take this guy's bottle one more time. I do think I need one more. The soldier here would not let us pass him, so we would need to actually steal the wine bottle from that soldier once again. So we will move on, and here we have another collectible. Do you see it here? It's right between the soldiers. Really nicely hidden. Let's pick it up. Now some of these are super easy to find. It will be actually like right at your feet. But most of them are so incredibly well hidden. Usually if you don't look up certain playthroughs or tips or wiki or something, you have no chance of getting them. So this soldier will not let us on top of the train carts. The reason why we want to get on top of the train carts is that we will need to get to the front here and utilize the lever to release the steam on the remaining French soldiers harassing Freddy over there. So we need to do a couple of things here. One of the things which we need to do is interact with the band. This will actually move the soldier away from the ladder. Another one is here on top of Emil. I'm not sure if you can see it. There is one of the collectibles. So if we would look at it, that is the last one which we are missing for this segment. Now let's see if I can recall the correct order of how to interact with the band. Okay, so I think it's... How is it? So it's the drummer. It's the guy with the trumpet. Ah, damn it. Okay. So now I know. So it's the second guy, the fourth one, the third soldier, and the first one. Once again, music is turned off because monetization. Now I am not making any money, but you know, eventually if the channel will get some sort of views, might be lucky enough to earn a cent or a nickel, who knows. So this is the metal nib, and this is the last collectible. Let's go help out Freddy. Now as you can see, the train conductor has actually left, and we are now able to help Freddy. And this should be the end of the train station.
Thank you very much, my friend. I'm Freddy. Where are you from? From the USA. Bye. Good luck, my friend.
August 21st, 1914. Emil's regiment was sent to fight against the 71st German Division led by Baron von Dorf. The general cheer of the first hours dissipated into the fear of first combat.
So this will be one of those fun segments where I will prove why this channel is called Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel. I'm quite sure I'm gonna die a couple of times from the bombardment, so let's take a stab at it. Okay, let's let the men catch up. Charge! So whenever you see these black spots, that means that the grenade will land on said place. So you need to make sure that Emil will not get hit. During these segments you don't need to worry, luckily enough, about picking up collectibles, but what I need to look out for is the machine gun fire combined with the grenades. Whoa! Okay, okay. So far so good, so far so good. Damn it! Okay. Was quite sure I'm gonna die there. Okay, okay, okay! Damn, hey, where is everyone? Hey, isn't that Carl?
Is that Emil?
Miss Marie Chillon. Private Emile Chillon, from the 150th Infantry Regiment, was wounded by enemy fire on August 21st. He has been captured by the enemy. Hopefully, you shall receive news from him soon. Freddy, originally from America, enlisted voluntarily in the French forces at the start of the war. Behind his bravery hid a man already devastated by the war's effects. A man with one sole obsession: punish those who had destroyed his life. It was at the Battle of the Marne that Freddy finally picked up the trail of the regiment commanded by Baron von Dorf.
Okay, so now we are actually not playing as Emile, but we're gonna switch to Freddy. In the background, you can potentially see the French soldiers moving in the country, but what I need to do here is stop in here, show you the Americans in the French army, about which you can of course read through. But here's the thing. The first collectible is hidden right behind this card here. So this is the French identificational tag for a soldier. You can read about this, pause the screen, I will continue. This one is super well hidden. Usually most people don't even notice this. When I played this the first time, I actually missed this one like twice. So I was really angry when I found out that the one that I'm missing is so damn well hidden. Now Freddy is equipped with these wire cutters, which will come in hand quite often enough. But we will have to be careful here about certain things. And that is the enemy fire. Now, obviously, we all do recall the training which we had with Emile. The thing is that you pick up a grenade, you aim the grenade, you throw the grenade. However, if the cart rolls down this hill, here is a collectible. If you would not pick up this gold button from the French uniform before you throw the grenade, you cannot get to it. So you need to pick it up, run back up the hill, throw the damn grenade, pick up another grenade, wait for the first one to explode, and using this cart as a sort of ramp, you are able to proceed further. And now comes another fun part. Once again, they will be shooting at me, I think. Okay, almost. So we need to do a few things. We need to be careful of the German machine gun nest. Whenever the soldier is shooting, we will need to wait with Freddy use this momentum to run up the ladder, get behind the machine gun nest, and now a couple of things need to happen. If I were to throw the grenade, it's gonna explode, but the soldier is gonna take cover. That is not good for me, because he is still facing the ladder. So what I need to actually do is throw this brick to distract the soldier so that I can get behind him, knock him out, and now I am able to get down to the base of this bridge. And here, I'm not even sure if you can see it, is another collectible. This is the HQ map. So this one is also quite well hidden. Now we see that the bridge is actually ready to be blown up, almost. We're gonna pick up this dynamite, throw it up in here. I'm gonna take one more stick just in case. And let's see if this will actually work. Okay. So now we are about to see the weirdest physics in the entire game whatsoever. The dynamite unfortunately won't do too much because it will not explode. German grenades, however, these salt and pepper shakers, how I like to call them, because you usually have to twist the base of the grenade in order to make it activate itself. So it's basically like a large pepper shaker, you know. We will need to throw it down to the dynamite. And here is where the weirdest physics come in. Did you just see what the hell happened? Okay, I'm quite sure this is not possible, so please don't ever try something like this. And now, of course, since we move, the bridge will move with us. Oh my god. Okay, however, here we need to be careful. By the corpse of the German soldier is another collectible. I'm gonna see... yeah, you see it? It's right by Freddy's feet, and basically it's the German cartridges. So this is from the 7.92mm Mauser cartridge. So you can read about it, and we will continue onward. We are now missing 2 more collectibles. I'm gonna switch up. I'm gonna throw the brick to let down the ladder. Not really sure how that works either, but okay. And now I need to be careful. There is another machine gun somewhere in here. And I really would hate to die. Okay, German soldier is reloading. I'm gonna have to wait between the salvos. Freddy will remain in cover. We will go through the barbed wire. Come on, hurry up, hurry up! And now I'm gonna throw the stick of grenade up there. This is gonna blow a hole above the German soldier. Once that is done, we throw in another stick of grenade, which will destroy the machine gun nest, and therefore we can continue onward. Now here I need to be careful because sure, I need to destroy this barricade, but there will be also machine gun fire, so I kind of have to be careful to not get hit by a salvo. So let's go.
Da geht's ab. Weg dahin! Bruder dem geliebten Alster! Knups den Licht im Haus!
Okay, so it looks like the Baron is escaping. I'm quite sure that whatever the hell was that noise that he made is not actual German language. And here when we get into the barn, we barely escaped to a salvo from the German artillery. So, we need to finish off this farmhouse, or barn, or whatever is this horrible looking creaking thing, in order to finish off the mission. So we need to do a couple of things. Obviously, I have a grenade equipped, but that will not do. What we need to do is get the ladder down, which will of course attract the attention of the German soldier. That will not work for us. He is still facing towards the ladder. Above the wine bottles here, you can see on the upper level a flashing collectible. So that would be one of the other ones which we need to get our hands on. So the last two are actually in this building, so that would be one of them. But before I manage to go and get up, I will need to distract the German soldier. I think I need to throw the wine bottle over there. Use this momentum to run up with Freddy, knock his legs out. And then we go actually punch through the wall. We pick up the collectible, which is the embroidery, so you can of course read through this. And then we need to continue our way up. So here we are facing few issues. There are two soldiers on top of the roof. One is by the machine gun, one is standing right above us. So we would not be able to utilize the ladder to get up there. So what needs to be done? You need to punch out these planks out of the window. You aim the piece of fresh looking vegetable, surprisingly. I mean, what do we have here? It looks like tomatoes, zucchinis, eggplants. I'm not sure what's the orange thing. Is that some kind of a pumpkin? I'm quite sure it should not be an orange. I'm not really sure if they can grow oranges in France, but okay. So we need to hit the bell. Now we need to utilize this moment, run up, knock out the lights of this soldier, and unfortunately, since we did knock him out, I'm not sure if you were able to see that here is the last collectible of this mission, which is the letter from the German soldier. Wow, he did not leave any room left, huh? He did manage to write quite a lot. Unfortunately, I have no idea what's the jibber jabber in there, and my German is way too horrible for me to try to attempt just about anything, so please keep that in mind. I feel like I'm butchering the English language enough as it is. And the last soldier here will never look around. So what we need to do here...
Thanks to support from British forces, the German plan failed. The front line moved back to the north, and with the arrival of winter, froze. Soldiers holed up amid a vast labyrinth of trenches and tunnels that would become the indelible image of the Great War. Karl's regiment retreated to the outskirts of Neuve-Chapelle, the same camp where Emile was being held prisoner.
So now we return back to playing as Emile. Apparently he was able to recover from the bullet wound, and the German soldiers have taken him as a hostage or a prisoner of war. We can see the shackles at his feet. Unfortunately, I don't have a mouse to point at it, so you just have to look at Emile and see that the shackles are there. Now, the Baron is apparently having lots of fun. The soldiers are drinking alcohol, which I'm quite sure, despite the fact that beer contains vitamins like B12, would not be specifically allowed, and I mean, I don't know, it's calorically rich, but other than that, really, like pretzels and sausages, I'm not really sure if this is what the German soldiers would have as provisions. So since we are assigned the position of a cook, we're gonna have to make a soup, or whatever the hell this is, for the German soldiers. And here is Walter! So the doggy is thirsty, so let's go get him some water. Once we do this, the German medic will sit down and he will let us pass into the Wursthaus. I'm quite sure that the translation would be sausage house, although I'm not really sure that that's the proper terminology, but whatever. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, here above a meal we see the recipe on how to actually make the dish. Once again, there's a picture of beer. I don't think that would work, but whatever. So, here at the corner, we can see the first collectible of this mission. So this would be the photo frame. Once again, feel free to read about this, and we can move on. Okay, enough reading. We want some action.
Emil? Huh? Shh. Carl! Ah, Carl! Marie, est-ce que ça va?
Dearest Papa, we live in a climate of uncertainty. Germans use the people of Saint-Mihiel as human shields against the French bombings. I hope the Germans treat you well, and that your wound has healed. Your grandson sent you kisses. I sent you a picture of him. All my love. Please write soon.
Verdammt! Adieu, Carl.
Okay, so I'm not really sure how safe this is, but if I was captured and they would make me cook for them, why is there nobody watching over me? I can poison half of the battalion by doing God knows what with the soup. Like, seriously. Okay, so now we need to do the recipe in the correct order. So we need to let some water into whatever the hell this is. Then we need to light up the damn fire, so we need to actually pull the lever. This will start to boil the water, and then we will actually let in some sausages. Now, it probably did turn orange due to the fat leaving the sausage and being released into the water, making it into a broth, potentially. So let's see if we can feed the German regiment. Okay, apparently something is happening on the British side. And this is how we meet Walter, our lovely, lovely new companion.
Merci.
So from now on, we will most likely play either as Emil, with Walter, or somebody else who will be supported by this lovely, lovely pooch. Now, the only way to survive the bombardment is to run back into the worst house. So yeah, keep that in mind. That is why I ran inside. Unfortunately, I still have the freaking shackles on my feet.
Schwander Nichtlingsster, Blunderklump.
And it looks like in the background the German soldiers are firing by the ruins of that house at the British positions. Okay, so here we will need to do a couple of things. Walter, when he manages to run behind the wagon or cart with the shells, is barking at the tree. So Emil basically needs to throw the wine bottle at the lever. We will press Alt to control our lovely pooch. We will pick up the lever. And we will find out that during the First World War, apparently, lots of levers ended up on top of some trees. Now, since this has been raised up, Emil can pass through. And this will be one of the many lovely puzzles here, which we will need to deal with. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Man, if I would even remember. Okay, so I need to pull this. And if I let go, I should have enough time to get to the upper lever. Now we are gonna press this. And this should let... Oh man, I totally screwed up. Okay, so I need to pull this and then get with Emil on top of this. Okay, my bad. It's been a while. Yeah, if you think I can pronounce the French place where this took place, battle, you know what I'm trying to say. Shut up. It's gonna not end well, so yeah. Let's just read through this and we can move on. Okay. So in order for Walter to actually get to lower levels, there will be these tiny shafts which he can utilize. So we will try to do this and run down here. Now I need to kind of make sure that I will not miss out on any of the damn collectibles. So far, I think I should be a-okay. I hope. Okay, so let's move on. See how this evolves. Walter should be close behind me. So Emil will need to dig using the massive spatula he has. But Walter will need to go into the tiny tunnel. I'm not quite sure if he can potentially dig with Emil here. Come on, buddy. Dig. Keep on digging. Okay, cool. So in these tunnels, basically, we will manage to come across the next collectibles. Some of them will be, however, a bit trickier to get to. Now, as you can see, Walter here is pointing out that there is a skeleton next to the unexploded shells, which I have no idea how they managed to get here. But behind the shells is one of the collectibles. You can see it shining there. It's one of the crosses. So that would be this collectible. However, I will need to go down. Freddy will need to utilize this small shaft in order to get down here. And here's the fun thing. Emil needs to dig in this direction in order to come across the second collectible, which would be the Valiant Stories Contest Memorabilia. Sorry for the mispronunciation there. Okay. We need to punch through this. Fun thing, I actually had to redo this first segment like 4 times. I tried to render the video I don't even know how many times. Each time I tried to mute certain parts so that I can upload this to the channel. Apparently when we walk out through here, there is once again some freaking piano playing in the background with a couple of notes. That's another licensed song! Ubisoft, what is wrong with you? Just give us some, I don't know, something in the background which we can use. Anyhow, here's the thing. We will need to return back.
What?
Walter will usually signal for us some of these piles of dirt which we can interact with. So now that we have this bone, I should be able to throw it at the ladder. I'm gonna take it from Walter once again. I'm gonna climb up here. Reason why I want to climb up here is to get to the third collectible, which we were able to see, which would be the crucifix. Beautiful. So now that we have that, we can continue our adventure. Let me just double check if I have picked up everything. It'd be really bad if I would miss out on something. Okay, we should be a-okay. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. There are still some collectibles which need to be picked up. So let's continue. And this is why you need the bone. You will need to throw it at the undetonated shells in the dirt, which will make the ground safe enough to work with. So Emil can now actually dig through the rest of this dirt. And here you need to be a bit more careful. Now Walter, obviously smart pooch that he is, was able to go through the tiny tunnel. Emil does not have the option. Now I will need to dig upwards, so I'm gonna be holding the what you call it, the up arrow, in order for Emil to keep digging into this angle up here. If I would not do so, I can potentially run into one of the shells and explode. And this is another collectible. This would be the compass. We all know a compass. If you usually go hiking or somewhere where you never were before, it's usually kind of advised to take one just in case. I know. Usually now you have cell phones, smartphones, GPS and such, but usually in the woods or in the mountains the signal is not working, but the world magnetic fields are. Okay, so we will continue to dig. We'll go down here, and there's actually no need for Emil to go on the other end. However, Freddy here smells the sausage, and he's gonna run after it, which will get us into quite a lot of trouble. The poor dog got stuck in the barbed wire.
The British troops continued their attack on Neuve-Chapelle. Their next objective, take back Port Arthur.
You American! Look at that! Look at that! Yeah. Sir. Yes, sir. Come on, boys, let's go.
So it looks like here Freddy will be joined by the Indian or Canadian potentially regiment. So we will see how this turns out. We will once again have to charge against the enemy fire. So the men from the colonies obviously did manage to help. We'll need to take cover. Once the German soldier is done shooting, we will get into the mud. This is kind of tricky because we need to rush through this part in order to get to another cover. The British soldiers are warning us that there is some barbed wire, so we will need to cut through it. And I'm not really sure if Freddy will survive this. Yeah. I unfortunately hesitated, and those few seconds cost me life. So if you want to make sure you survive this, just run down here, deal with the barbed wire. God damn it! Come on! Okay, I need to stop punching the damn barbed wire. Come on, cut through the damn wire and take a cover. Once this is done, wait for the salvo to finish. We run through the mountain. We need to take another cover. And we need to be careful here because in between these segments, here is one of the last collectibles of this mission. So this would be the French coins. You can of course read through this. It will tell you what's the nowadays currency of it. And let's move on. So Freddy will join the forces down here. Now we will get actually instructions on what to put where. So we need the 2 sticks of dynamite and we will need to throw it up to our friend. Once that is done, we need to move him to the middle position. We will need 3 dynamite sticks, so we will need to run up here. I'm gonna need to throw it to him. I'm gonna need to go down to move him to the last position. We're gonna pick up the 2 sticks of dynamite. And that should be it. Not sure if that was really inappropriate, but whatever. So we can now blow up the dynamite and the base of the German line. Yeah! America! Okay. So here is the last collectible. And here will be a fun thing. Freddy actually can see Emil and Walter there struggling at that weird tractor thingy is rushing down the hill. So we will need to aim down and shoot in order to save our 2 friends.
Hey, brother.
Freddy.
Now here's the thing, I'm not sure if you were able to see the movie 1917. They were running across barbed wire. The chances of you getting your hand cut or your leg cut or just getting caught in it, super high. There's also potentially the scene from the Saw movies. But that was a razor wire. That's a different thing. But anyhow, if Walter would be struggling this much, I'm quite sure he would have so many deep cuts, they would get infected and the poor Pooch would actually die. But thankfully, he will survive this.
Merci, mon ami.
Du Ragnar?
Carl Louis von Dorf.
Yeah, come this way.
Amidst the never-ending attacks and counterattacks, Freddy and Emil hunted the elusive Baron and his regiment in Ypres.
And this is unfortunately, well, we will finish off the first episode of Valiant Hearts. I know it's been quite a fun, and I did manage to talk way too much, but yeah. I'm gonna try to separate this into consumable bits and pieces so that it's watchable and so that you can potentially catch up to all the collectibles. In case you are wondering, currently there might be still the Steam sale going on, so if you did not get your hands on Valiant Hearts as of yet, I can highly recommend it. Quite sure it's gonna be discounted since it's a bit older title. But other than that, I'm gonna thank you for watching this episode. I do hope you did enjoy it. And on the next time, you will join me in the Battle of Belgium, where actually even certain person which was responsible for Second World War did manage to be deployed and almost went blind due to the firstly used chemical agents, or what's the word I'm looking for? Chemical weapons to be used, and we will see how that turns out. Unfortunately, this is a fictional story, so we will not run into him, but if you don't know who I'm talking about, look up some stuff about this in the history books. Thank you for watching, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye bye.